It's the worst of the CBC for July 14th, 2021, the show where I watch the CBC so you don't have to. And today was impressive for the most part. There were still problems to the end. Their perfect run was ruined. I thought, am I going to have to give this a 1 out of 10, the Rosemary Barton scale? Is this going to be a 1? It didn't end up being a 1 because things happen. So let's start off with, we won't do the biggest omission. It will be the best covered story of the day because I thought they were going to omit two major stories, and they ended up covering both of them. One, the riots in South Africa and the 70-plus people who had died in the widespread chaos. I just thought they wouldn't acknowledge that or make current. They covered it. Okay, good for them. That was news. It was on the news. Haiti, news. Now, the one that I was actually most impressed with, now they still did get something wrong, and I will supplement the CBC viewing of today, is I am shocked that they actually covered this major story where the FBI uncovered a plot from the Islamic Republic of Iran to kidnap human rights activist Mali Ahmadinejad and bring her back to Iran to probably torture and murder her. Now, good on them for covering it. They did read the reply from the Islamic Republic of Iran saying these accusations are ridiculous. They did mention that it has been involved in stuff like this before, and they had tried previous plots to lure her to a third country. They did talk about the fact that it would be through Venezuela, so they did mention the Venezuela connection. So all of that was good. Now, the things they have missed out is Mali Ahmadinejad is a human rights hero and one of the women and people I admired the most. What she started in Iran was My Stealthy Freedom. She is the leader of the No to Hijab movement. So in Iran, there is mandatory hijabs. You got to hijab up, okay? I have friends, I know people, women from Iran, who have been beaten by the religious police for improperly wearing a hijab and even improperly wearing it in line of duty. So I know nurses who, you gotta have the hijab like this, and while treating people, their hijab slipped and the hair became available, so they were beaten for their hijab slipping while working as a nurse. Mali started a movement where women would take off their hijab, take selfies of it, and then post it online as a form of resistance. She started My Camera is My Weapon campaign. She has done great work for women's rights. And none of this was actually explained by the CBC because the CBC is one of those people who will celebrate World Hijab Day, where Mali Ahmadinejad will say this is ridiculous. And it's nice in Canada that women have the right to wear hijab if they want to. But we can't, the reason why World Hijab Day is ridiculous and hilarious is because half the women don't want to wear hijabs and are forced into it and are actually under the threat of violence, and half may want to wear it. But this doesn't merit celebration because you still have to acknowledge that hijab is a significant human rights abuse to a lot of people, like my friends who've been beaten for improperly wearing hijabs. And Mali Ahmadinejad is a hero for standing up to this. So not mentioning that part hurts them. Now, we can go back and I can yell at Suhana Marchand and I've done this before, for parroting Islamic Republic propaganda previously. All right, there. So they've carried water for the Islamic Republic before and enabled all this, but today they did a good job of reporting the news. So I can only tell you what was this hour. So this hour, I would say, in general, when we chronicle the downfall of civilization, this hour of CBC News from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. this morning was actually not part of the downfall of the Republic. Now, what was the worst covered story of the day? France, vaccine passports. Okay. They covered the French vaccine passport thing, and the light in Suhana Marchand's eyes and the utter euphoria while talking about abusing people's civil liberties in France. And the fact that, it's working! It's got another 1 million people vaccinated. No mention of civil rights externalities like people will need to disclose private medical information in order to participate in the domestic economy. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. No matter what you think of vaccines or vaccine efficacy, the fact that you think people should have to disclose private medical information in order to participate in the domestic economy, like to go into Shoppers Drug Mart or a Winners or whatever it is, that's insane. That is such a massive civil rights violation. And of course, we covered this on Bastille Day, the commemorate the storming of the Bastille. What a great irony we have there. So I actually do think Suhana Marchand reached a point of, I think, sexual ecstasy while talking about civil rights violations and the possibility of vaccine passports and could we do them here? And John Tory's pushing for them. Yeah, John Tory. John Tory. Yeah, such a conservative John Tory is. So we're gonna face the push here in Canada. Good on Jason Kenney as being the only one to say no. Doug Ford won't commit either way to this. But this is the next civil rights battle, and the CBC, of course, is on the side of oh yeah, and vaccine passport them up. Oh yeah, could you just imagine a world with no civil liberties? Oh my God, and I think Suhana Marchand, she might have just came again listening to this criticism of her, just thinking about people being denied civil liberties based on private medical history. The pleasure. But all in all, on the Rosemary Barton scale, I'm going to give this a 3 out of 10 because they did do the news today. They did the news today. Yeah, there was some, but like, I guess that's, if we lived in a functioning society, maybe it would be higher on the scale because I would have a higher thing. But the bar is so low that, for whatever mainstream media is these days, that was a fine 1 hour of television. I am not suicidal after watching it. My mental health is stable today. So yeah, 3 out of 10 the Rosemary Barton scale of bias. I will see everyone tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Uninterrupted, while I ramble, and then save the world.